Ever wonder how the richest black families in the world travel? From private jets to luxury yachts, we're about to take you through the extravagant lifestyles of the top 10 wealthiest black families. Starting with number 10, we'll work our way up to the family that takes luxury to a new level. The Stewart's family. Let's start our countdown with number 10 on our list of the richest black families and their travel habits. Meet David L. Stewart, the tech mogul with a net worth of $7.6 billion. This isn't just your average success story. Stewart's journey to the top is as impressive as his bank account. Born in Chicago, Stewart faced his fair share of challenges. Growing up in a big family during times of segregation, he didn't exactly have a silver spoon in his mouth. But man, did he make up for it later in life? Stewart's career took off at Federal Express, where he wasn't just good, he was Hall of Fame good. Literally. He snagged the title of Salesman of the Year and got inducted into their Hall of Fame. But Stewart wasn't content with just being an employee, no matter how successful. In 1990, he co-founded Worldwide Technology, WWT, and that's when things really started to take off. Fast forward to today, and WWT is raking in over $11 billion in revenue. That's billion with a B, folks. Now, when you've got that kind of cash and a background in tech, you don't just book a flight on Expedia like the rest of us. The Stewart family's travels are probably as cutting edge as their business. Imagine stepping into a private jet that's more like a flying smart home. Voice-activated everything, holographic displays showing your flight path, maybe even some AI predicting the best restaurants at your destination based on your mood. But it's not all about the gadgets. The Stewarts are big on giving back, and that shapes their travels too. They've set up the Harold and Dorothy Stewart Center for Jazz, promoting music education and community upliftment. So while they might be jetting off to exotic locations, don't be surprised if some of their trips involve checking in on their philanthropic projects. David Stewart Jr., following in his dad's innovative footsteps, is making waves with Lion Forge Animation. This isn't your grandpa's cartoon studio. They're blending old-school storytelling with tech that would make Silicon Valley jealous. You can bet their family vacations involve scouting locations for the next big animated blockbuster, all while traveling in style that would make Tony Stark envious. The Stewart family's travels aren't just about luxury. They're about pushing boundaries. When you've built your fortune on being at the forefront of technology, you don't settle for ordinary, even when you're on vacation. They're probably test driving the latest prototype vehicles, staying in hotels with tech so advanced it feels like time travel, and using apps that haven't even hit the market yet to plan their itineraries. But here's the kicker. For all their high-tech gadgetry and billion-dollar bank accounts, the Stewarts haven't forgotten their roots. Their travels likely include trips back to Chicago, investing in the communities that shaped them. It's not just about seeing the world, it's about changing it. The Carters. We've got a power couple that needs no introduction, Beyoncé and Jay-Z, aka the Carters. These two aren't just dominating charts, they're redefining what it means to travel in style. Let's talk numbers for a second. The Carters are sitting pretty with a combined net worth of about $3.1 billion. That's not just rich, that's buy your own island rich. Jay-Z's bringing $2.5 billion to the table, while Queen Bey adds a cool $540 million. When you've got that kind of cash, your travel game is on a whole different level. Now, everyone needs a home base, right? For the Carters, that's a $200 million mansion in California. But this isn't just any mansion. We're talking about a place so luxurious it makes Buckingham Palace look like a starter home. This 30,000 square foot palace has all the amenities you'd expect. Multiple pools, a spa, a cinema, and probably a few rooms they haven't even discovered yet. It's the kind of place you'd never want to leave. But when you're the Carters, the world is calling. When they do decide to venture out, they've got options. Their car collection is like a museum of automotive excellence. The crown jewel, a $2 million Bugatti Veyron Grand Sport. This isn't just a car, it's a statement on wheels. Jay-Z got this beast as a birthday gift because when you're married to Beyoncé, a tie just won't cut it. But the Bugatti's just the start. They've got a Maybach XLero that looks like it's from the future, a Rolls-Royce Silver Ghost that screams old money, and a Bentley Continental GT for those casual drives. When the Carters hit the road, they're not just traveling, they're making an entrance. Of course, cars are for short trips. When it's time to go global, the Carters don't mess around. Private jets? That's amateur hour. They've been known to charter entire planes for their entourage. Imagine boarding a flight and realizing you're on Beyoncé Airlines. That's the level we're talking about. But here's the thing about the Carters. They're not just about flashy rides and big houses. Their travels often have a purpose. Jay-Z's not just a rapper, he's a business mogul with fingers in pies all over the world. From his stake in Uber to his champagne brand, his business travels are probably more interesting than most people's vacations. And Beyoncé? She's turned performing into an art form that requires global inspiration. Her travels aren't just for show, they're research trips, cultural deep dives that fuel her creativity. When she's not selling out stadiums, she's soaking in experiences that will shape her next groundbreaking album or performance. Their philanthropy also shapes their travels. The Carters aren't just seeing the world, they're trying to change it. Whether it's supporting education initiatives in Africa or disaster relief in the Caribbean, their trips often have a charitable angle. It's like they've combined the jet-set lifestyle with a mission to make a difference. Will Smith? We've got a family that's redefined Hollywood success. Will Smith, the Fresh Prince himself, has amassed a fortune of $375 million. But he's not the only breadwinner in this talented clan. The Smith family's collective wealth, a cool $416 million. That's enough to make even Uncle Phil jealous. Will's journey from West Philadelphia to global superstardom is the stuff of legends. From his breakout role in The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air to blockbuster hits like Men in Black and Independence Day, Will's charm and talent have made him a household name. But he's not just an actor. He's a producer, rapper, and savvy businessman. Jada Pinkett Smith, Will's wife, is a force to be reckoned with in her own right. With a net worth of around $50 million, she's proven her mettle as an actress, talk show host, and entrepreneur. Her candid discussions on Red Table Talk have made waves in the entertainment industry, tackling topics most celebrities wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. When the Smiths travel, they don't just go on vacation. They embark on adventures that could be movie plots themselves. Imagine jetting off to a remote island for a family reunion, only the island is one you've rented out entirely. Or picture a European tour where instead of booking hotel rooms, you're staying in castles and historic villas. Their Hollywood connections mean they're not just tourists, they're often guests of honor. Film festivals in Cannes, premieres in Tokyo, charity galas in London. The Smiths aren't just attending these events, they're often the main attraction. And you can bet they're not flying commercial. Private jets are the norm for this family, allowing them to zip across the globe on a whim. But it's not all red carpets and VIP lounges. The Smiths have a philanthropic streak that influences their travels. The Will and Jada Smith Family Foundation has been making waves in education and inner-city youth empowerment. This means their trips often have a dual purpose. While they might be lounging on a beach in Bali, they're also likely to be meeting with local leaders about setting up educational programs. Their children, Jaden and Willow, have followed in their parents' footsteps, both in entertainment and in using their platform for good. Jaden's efforts in bringing clean water to Flint, Michigan, show that the apple doesn't fall far from the tree when it comes to mixing stardom with social responsibility. The Smith family's travels are a blend of luxury and purpose. One day they might be filming on location in an exotic locale. The next, they could be visiting schools they've helped fund in developing countries. It's a unique mix of Hollywood glamour and real-world impact. Their home base? A $42 million mansion in Calabasas, California. But for the Smiths, home is just a launching pad for their next global adventure. Whether it's for work or play, their travels are always infused with their signature style and a dash of social consciousness. Oprah Winfrey, a woman who redefined what it means to be influential. Oprah Winfrey, with a net worth of $3.5 billion, isn't just rich. She's in a league of her own. This isn't your average rags to riches story. It's a masterclass in turning adversity into empire. Born into poverty in rural Mississippi, Oprah's journey to the top is nothing short of extraordinary. She didn't just climb the ladder of success, she built her own. From local news anchor to talk show phenomenon, Oprah transformed daytime TV and became a household name. But that was just the beginning. When Oprah travels, it's not just about luxury, it's about impact. Take the Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for girls in South Africa. This isn't your typical celebrity pet project. It's a full-blown educational revolution. Oprah didn't just write a check. She created a launchpad for future leaders. Her trips to South Africa aren't vacations, they're missions to shape the future. But Oprah's philanthropy doesn't stop there. Healthcare, disaster relief, combating sexual abuse, her charitable efforts span the globe. When natural disasters strike, Oprah isn't just sending thoughts and prayers. She's on the ground, using her influence and resources to make a real difference. Her travels are a mix of luxury and purpose, always with an eye on how she can use her platform for good. Now let's talk about how Oprah gets around. Private jets, that's a given. But for Oprah, it's not about showing off, it's about efficiency and privacy. When you're one of the most recognizable faces on the planet, commercial travel isn't just inconvenient, it's impossible. Her jet isn't just transportation, it's a mobile office where she can continue her empire building at 30,000 feet. But here's where it gets interesting. Oprah's travel style has been shaped by her unique experiences. Think about it. This is a woman who's interviewed everyone from world leaders to pop stars. She's been exposed to the best of the best in every field. So when Oprah travels, she's not just looking for luxury, she's seeking experiences that broaden her horizons and feed her insatiable curiosity. Her talk show days might be over, but that spirit of exploration never left. Oprah's trips often involve deep dives into local cultures, meetings with thought leaders, and experiences that challenge her worldview. It's not uncommon to find her meditating in an ancient temple one day and discussing global economics with a Nobel laureate the next. Oprah's book club selections often inspire her travel choices. If she's featuring a book set in India, don't be surprised to find her exploring the streets of Mumbai. Her travels are like living book reports, bringing literature to life and sharing those experiences with her millions of followers. The Smiths family. Moving up our list, we've got a family that's redefining what it means to be tech royalty. Meet Robert F. Smith, the man behind a $9 billion fortune that's as impressive as his resume. This isn't just another Silicon Valley success story. It's a masterclass in turning tech savvy into cold, hard cash. Smith's the mastermind behind Vista Equity Partners, a private equity firm that's got its fingers in all sorts of tech pies. We're talking software, data, and tech-enabled solutions that most of us probably use without even realizing it. But here's the kicker. Vista isn't just successful, it's breaking records. They've been pulling in returns that make Wall Street look like a kid's lemonade stand. Now, when you've built your empire on cutting-edge tech, you don't just book a flight on Expedia and call it a day. The Smith family's travels are probably as high-tech as their investment portfolio. Imagine stepping onto a private jet that's basically a flying smart home, voice-activated everything, holographic displays showing real-time market data, maybe even some AI predicting the best restaurants at their destination based on their mood and the latest food trends. But it's not all about gadgets and gizmos. Smith's got a philanthropic streak a mile wide, and it's shaping the way his family moves around the globe. Remember that $34 million pledged to Morehouse College? That wasn't just a one-off. Smith's made it his mission to level the playing field in education, especially for minority students. So when the Smiths travel, they're not just ticking off bucket list destinations, they're scouting locations for the next big tech hub, visiting schools they've helped fund, or meeting with other bigwigs to cook up the next world-changing initiative. It's like every trip is part vacation, part reconnaissance mission for the future of tech and education. And let's talk about those destinations. With Smith's background in chemical engineering and his tech expertise, don't be surprised if their itinerary includes stops at cutting-edge research facilities or meetings with the brightest minds in STEM fields. They're probably getting private tours of SpaceX, while the rest of us are stuck in line at Disney World. But here's where it gets really interesting. Smith's not just about making money, he's about creating opportunities. His Intern XL program is all about connecting students from historically black colleges and universities with top-tier internships. So when the Smith family jets off to Silicon Valley or New York, they're not just sightseeing, they're probably laying the groundwork for the next generation of tech leaders. And let's not forget about the gear. When you're worth $9 billion and your bread and butter is technology, you don't skimp on the travel tech. We're talking custom-designed smartphones that probably make the latest iPhone look like a flip phone, wearable tech that does everything short of teleportation, and luggage that's smarter than some computers. The Dangote's family. We've seen some impressive wealth, but now we're stepping into a whole new league with the Dangote family. Aliko Dangote isn't just rich, he's the richest black person in the world with a net worth of $14 billion. That's not just money, that's nation-changing, continent-shaping wealth. Dangote didn't stumble into this fortune. He built an empire from the ground up, starting with a small trading firm and turning it into a colossal conglomerate. We're talking operations across multiple countries in West Africa: Nigeria, Benin, Ghana, Zambia, Togo. The Dangote Group isn't just big, it's a force of nature in African business. When your company dominates industries like cement, sugar and flour, you don't just travel, you move continents. Imagine hopping on a private jet not to visit a resort, but to check on your latest billion-dollar project. That's a typical Tuesday for the Dangote family. They're not tourists, they're industrial conquerors. But here's where it gets interesting. Dangote's not content with just being the cement king of Africa. He's got his sights set on bigger things. The Dangote refinery in Nigeria, that's not just another business venture. It's a game changer for the entire region's oil production. When the Dangotes travel, they're not just crossing borders, they're redrawing economic maps. With over 11,000 employees across West Africa, the Dangote Group's influence is massive. This means the family's movements aren't just about luxury, they're about shaping economies. One day they might be in Nigeria, overseeing cement production. The next, they could be in Ghana planning their next sugar refinery. It's like playing a real-life version of Monopoly, but instead of hotels on boardwalk, they're building industrial complexes across an entire continent. But don't think it's all business and no pleasure. When you're worth $14 billion, you can afford some serious downtime. While we don't have the specifics of their private jet or yacht collection, it's safe to say the Dangotes aren't flying economy or staying in budget hotels. Their version of a family vacation probably involves private islands, exclusive resorts, and experiences most of us can't even imagine. Yet, for all their wealth, the Dangotes haven't forgotten about giving back. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Aliko Dangote donated $500,000 to help combat the spread in Nigeria. This isn't just checkbook philanthropy, it's a reflection of how the family views their role in society. Their travels likely include stops at hospitals, schools, and community projects they've funded. The Dangote family's journey is more than just a rags to riches story, it's a testament to the potential of African entrepreneurship. Aliko Dangote's rise from a modest trading background to becoming the first black African on Forbes's billionaire list is nothing short of inspirational. When the Dangotes travel, they're not just representing themselves, they're showcasing the possibilities of African business on a global stage. Their influence extends beyond traditional industries. Dangote's ventures into telecommunications show a family that's always looking toward the future. They're not just traveling the world, they're connecting it. Imagine planning your next business expansion while testing cutting-edge communication technology on your private jet. That's the Dangote way of combining business with pleasure. Tyler Perry. From Hollywood royalty to media mogul, Tyler Perry's rise to the billionaire club is a story of determination, creativity, and smart business moves. With a net worth of $1.1 billion, Perry isn't just rich, he's redefined what it means to be successful in the entertainment industry. This isn't your average rags to riches tale, it's a masterclass in building an empire from the ground up. Perry's journey from a struggling playwright to a Hollywood powerhouse is nothing short of extraordinary. He didn't just break into the industry, he created his own lane. His character Medea became a cultural phenomenon, resonating with audiences and raking in serious cash at the box office. But Perry didn't stop there. He expanded his reach into television, creating hit shows that further cemented his status as an entertainment juggernaut. When you've got a media empire that's generated over $660 million in revenue, you don't just book a flight on Expedia. Perry's travels are likely as multifaceted as his career. Imagine jetting off to scout locations for your next blockbuster, all while brainstorming ideas for a new TV series. That's probably just a Tuesday for Tyler Perry. His production work doesn't just influence his travel choices, it dictates them. One day he might be in Atlanta, overseeing operations at his massive studio complex. The next, he could be in New York, meeting with network executives about his latest show. And let's not forget international premieres. When you're the creator, writer, director, and star of your own films, you're not just attending red carpet events, you're the main attraction. But Perry's travels aren't all about business. His philanthropic efforts have made headlines, and they undoubtedly shape his global adventures. He's known for his support of organizations like Feeding America and the NAACP. It's not hard to imagine Perry combining his charitable work with his travels, visiting communities he's helping and seeing firsthand the impact of his donations. The Tyler Perry Foundation, which he founded to transform tragedy into triumph, likely plays a significant role in his travel itinerary. This isn't just checkbook philanthropy, it's hands-on involvement. Perry's trips might include stops at youth centers he's funded or meetings with community leaders to discuss new initiatives. Now, let's talk about how Perry travels. When you're worth over $1 billion, commercial flights are a thing of the past. Private jets are the norm, allowing Perry to zip across the globe on a whim. But it's not just about luxury, it's about efficiency. When you're juggling multiple projects and philanthropic efforts, time is money, and a private jet is essentially a flying office. Perry's rise to billionaire status is even more impressive when you consider his humble beginnings. He went from living in his car to being named the highest paid man in entertainment by Forbes in 2011, earning a staggering $130 million between May 2010 and May 2011. That kind of success story doesn't just change how you travel, it changes your entire worldview. His collaboration with Oprah Winfrey on projects like The Haves and the Have-Nots suggests that Perry's network extends to the upper echelons of entertainment royalty. This means his travels likely include exclusive gatherings and power meetings that shape the future of the industry. LeBron James. From the basketball court to the boardroom, LeBron James has slam dunked his way into the billionaire club. With a net worth of $1.1 billion, King James isn't just royalty on the hardwood, he's a financial powerhouse off it too. This isn't your average rags to riches story, it's a masterclass in turning athletic prowess into an empire. LeBron's journey from Akron, Ohio to global superstardom is the stuff of legends. He's not just playing basketball, he's rewriting the playbook on how athletes can leverage their fame. Since 2003, James has been dominating the NBA, racking up championships, MVP awards, and a paycheck that would make most CEOs jealous. We're talking about $49 million a year just from basketball. That's more than some small countries' GDPs. But LeBron's not content with just being a court king. He's got his fingers in more pies than a baker on Thanksgiving. His business ventures are as diverse as his skill set on the court. From owning a piece of Liverpool Football Club to having a stake in Blaze Pizza, LeBron's portfolio is as impressive as his trophy cabinet. When the James family travels, they're not just going on vacation, they're embarking on global conquests. Imagine jetting off to check on your investments in Europe, then swinging by Africa to oversee a charity project, all before heading back to the States for a playoff game. That's just a Tuesday for LeBron. Speaking of jets, let's talk about how the James family gets around. Commercial flights, please. When you're worth over $1 billion, you don't wait in TSA lines. LeBron's got a fleet of luxury cars that would make Jay Leno jealous. We're talking about a custom Lamborghini Aventador worth $670,000. Shaquille O'Neal even gifted him a Rolls-Royce Phantom, because when you're in LeBron's league, a fruit basket just doesn't cut it as a gift. But it's not all about flashy cars and private jets. The James family's travels often have a purpose beyond leisure. The LeBron James Family Foundation isn't just a vanity project, it's a game changer for education. Their I Promise School in Akron is redefining what it means to support at-risk students. So when LeBron travels back to his hometown, it's not just a trip down memory lane, it's a mission to uplift an entire community. LeBron's business acumen isn't limited to traditional investments. He's got major deals with brands like Nike, Coca-Cola, and Beats by Dre. That Nike deal, it started as a $90 million contract for his signature shoe line. Now it's a lifetime deal worth over $1 billion. So when the James family jets off to Portland to visit Nike HQ, it's not just a business trip, it's a pilgrimage to the source of their sneaker empire. The James family's real estate portfolio is as impressive as LeBron's stat sheet. We're talking about a $52 million mansion in Akron that's more like a small town than a house. But for LeBron, home is wherever his family is, whether that's courtside at a Lakers game or on a yacht in the Mediterranean. The Jordan's family. Michael Jordan has slam dunked his way into a whole new league of wealth. With a staggering net worth of $3.5 billion, his heiress isn't just a sports legend, he's a financial powerhouse. Jordan's journey from NBA superstar to billionaire businessman is a masterclass in turning athletic prowess into an empire. Jordan's 15-season NBA career, particularly with the Chicago Bulls, laid the foundation for his incredible wealth. But it's his off-court moves that have truly set him apart. The Air Jordan brand, launched in 1984, has been a game-changer. Nike initially hoped to make $3 million from the line in 3 years. Instead, Air Jordans raked in $126 million in the first year alone. Talk about overachieving. When it comes to travel, Jordan's not exactly flying coach. He owns a $61.5 million Gulfstream G4 private jet. This isn't just any private plane. It's decked out in elephant print detailing and his iconic Jumpman logo. When you're worth billions, your jet becomes a flying billboard for your brand. But air travel is just the beginning. Jordan's yacht game is as impressive as his jump shot. He owns a $21 million yacht named Mr. Terrible, though there's nothing terrible about its luxury amenities. But that's small fry compared to his $80 million mega yacht. When the Jordans want to escape, they don't just go to the beach, they bring the beach house with them. On land, Jordan's real estate portfolio is as expansive as his trophy cabinet. He owns a 28,000 square foot mansion in Highland Park, Illinois, complete with a regulation-size basketball court. But that's practically a guest house compared to his 12,310 square foot home in Florida, nestled in the exclusive Bears Club golf course development. Forget staying at resorts. Jordan practically owns his own. His car collection is like a museum of automotive excellence. The crown jewel, a $480,000 Mercedes McLaren SLR. But that's just the start. Jordan also cruises around in a $2.2 million Bugatti Veyron Sang Noir. When the Jordans hit the road, they're not just traveling, they're making a statement on wheels. Jordan's business ventures extend far beyond sneakers and sports memorabilia. His ownership of the Charlotte Hornets NBA team has been a slam dunk for his bank account. He recently sold his majority stake for a cool $3 billion, further padding his already substantial net worth. This means his travels often involve overseeing his team and making power moves in the sports business world. The Jordan family's travels aren't just about luxury, they're about legacy. Michael's philanthropic efforts, including donations to the Make-A-Wish Foundation and the James R. Jordan Foundation, named after his late father, often shape their journeys. It's not uncommon for the Jordans to combine high-stakes business meetings with visits to communities they're helping through their charitable work. Jordan's influence extends into the hospitality industry, with stakes in several high-end restaurants. This means family vacations might include stops at exclusive eateries where Jordan isn't just a patron, he's part owner. Imagine dining at a Michelin-starred restaurant where your dad's name is on the menu. The Motsepe's family. We've seen some impressive wealth, but now we're stepping into a whole new league with the Motsepe family. Patrice Motsepe isn't just rich, he's the first black African billionaire on Forbes' list, with a net worth of $2.4 billion. That's not just money, that's history-making, continent-shaping wealth. Motsepe didn't stumble into this fortune. He built an empire from the ground up, starting in the mining industry. We're talking operations across multiple countries in Africa. African Rainbow Minerals isn't just big, it's a force of nature in the mining world. When your company dominates industries like gold, platinum, and ferrous metals, you don't just travel, you move mountains. Imagine hopping on a private jet not to visit a resort, but to check on your latest billion-dollar project. That's a typical Tuesday for the Motsepe family. They're not tourists, they're industrial pioneers. One day, they might be in South Africa overseeing gold production. The next, they could be in Zambia planning their next copper mine. It's like playing a real-life version of Monopoly. But instead of hotels on boardwalk, they're building mining complexes across an entire continent. But Motsepe's not content with just being the mining king of Africa. He's got his sights set on bigger things. His role as the non-executive chairman of Harmony Gold, the 12th largest gold mining company in the world, means his influence extends far beyond the African continent. When the Motsepes travel, they're not just crossing borders, they're shaping global markets. With thousands of employees across Africa, the Motsepe family's influence is massive. This means their movements aren't just about luxury, they're about shaping economies. Their version of a family vacation probably involves private islands, exclusive resorts, and experiences most of us can't even imagine. But it's not all business and no pleasure. When you're worth $2.4 billion, you can afford some serious downtime. Yet, for all their wealth, the Motsepes haven't forgotten about giving back. In 2013, Patrice Motsepe joined the Giving Pledge, committing to donate at least half of his wealth to charitable causes. This isn't just checkbook philanthropy, it's a reflection of how the family views their role in society. Their travels likely include stops at hospitals, schools, and community projects they've funded. The Motsepe family's journey is more than just a rags-to-riches story. It's a testament to the potential of African entrepreneurship. Patrice Motsepe's rise from a modest background to becoming the first Black African on Forbes' billionaire list is nothing short of inspirational. When the Motsepes travel, they're not just representing themselves, they're showcasing the possibilities of African business on a global stage. Their influence extends beyond traditional industries. Motsepe's connection to sports as the owner of the Mamelodi Sundowns Football Club and his leadership roles in African football administration adds another dimension to their travels. Imagine planning your next business expansion while attending a high-stakes football match in Europe. That's the Motsepe way of combining business with pleasure.